Alright, let's start talking about network security controls. Network security controls are nothing but implementations of various devices to enhance the security of a particular network. These could be firewalls, intrusion detection systems, or intrusion prevention systems, honeypots, unified threat management systems, and so on and so forth. The next gen firewalls that we talk about, right? So let's look at a review of what these devices are. Now, a firewall can be a hardware or a software that is responsible for allowing or disallowing a certain amount of traffic to or from your computer. So these are basically created to enhance the security posture of your network, where you can configure them for certain level of traffic to be allowed or some traffic to be disallowed. Now, a firewall is not going to decide by itself what is a good amount of traffic or what is bad traffic. You're going to configure the firewall by creating rules based on IP addresses, port numbers, protocols, and what may. And based on this, the firewall will then analyze the traffic coming in or going out to the inbound or the outbound rules. And if the traffic is allowed, it will allow the traffic to go through. If there's an explicit rule which says deny the traffic, it will drop the packets or it will delete the packets. It will not allow the packets to go past it. So if it is good traffic, that means it matches a rule that has been created that allows that traffic to go through, the firewall will allow it. If it's bad traffic, that means that there is a rule which denies that traffic to pass through. It will get blocked at the firewall level itself. The firewall will not allow it to enter the network. Similarly, an intrusion detection system. It is designed to detect unauthorized access to systems or intrusion attempts as well. Now, it works along with the firewall, and the main thing is that here there's a database against which it can compare the traffic. So most of the attacks that we have talked about, there are some distinct signatures that would cause concern or that would highlight that kind of an attack. Most of the organizations try to develop these kind of signatures, have them in a database, and store them on the IDS so that IDS can analyze the incoming traffic, look at patterns from the traffic coming in or going out, compare it to the database of the signatures that it has, and if it matches any of the signatures, it will then detect that as an attack and send an alert to the administrator, where the administrator will then have to manually come in and check it out. An intrusion prevention system, as described earlier or as mentioned earlier, can be configured to react to that particular event. So if it detects something that can be classified as an intrusion, an administrator can pre-configure it to react to that particular packet in a particular manner. For example, drop the packets or reflect them to a honeypot, or warn the administrator, or do all of these things at the same time. So as you can see on the diagram, on the internet, there's a hacker, a sense of the data packets come in. The firewall is not able to analyze the traffic because a firewall cannot analyze the contents of a packet. It can only look at the header, it can only look at the IP addressing and the ports that have been created, or the rules on which those things have been mentioned. And then it allows the data to go through. It reaches the IDS. The IDS then looks at two ways to scan. One is a signature that we've just spoken about, where the developer of the IDS creates those signatures and stores them onto the database, or another thing that is known as heuristic scanning, which is nothing but behavioral scanning. So it looks at the